I'm Tim Byrne. This is Tim Byrne Almost Live. We are down at PM Expo, Toronto, Ontario, Metropolitan Toronto Convention Centre, right down near the CN Tower. And I'm with Andy Rutledge. He's a sales guy for State. He's only been with us for a few months, though, right?
Yeah, about almost half a year.
6 months?
Yeah, man.
All right. Are you where I said you'd be 5 months ago?
Debating my entire life and going through all those motions.
Self-esteem issues. Because, I mean, when you're new in sales, especially business to business, you're constantly put in a position where you're rejected to the point where it's... and you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. And when the problem is that you're also being only measured by what revenue you create. Mm-hmm. And when you're brand new, you create very little, right? Especially in business to business. The average thing that we do, the average thing most of the people do here at the PM Expo in Toronto, at the show, there's 1,000 vendors here. Most of these people down here are 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 18-week delivery dates. Mm-hmm. So a sales rep that's getting paid commissions, of course, by the time he actually closes the deal and makes the thing happen, now he's another 18 weeks till he actually sees the revenue show up on his spreadsheet. You go, woo, I got revenue. So you're talking months and months and months out of to get where you feel like you're winning the game. Mm-hmm. And I said to you 3 or 4 months ago that you're probably going to have every sales guy goes through this psychological problem where the first 3 months is euphoria.
Mm-hmm. And it was.
Right. Super high. And I think the other thing is when a new guy comes on board, I think everybody in the organization, especially with our place, Byrne on Demand and State, everybody pumps you up, wants to help you, giving you a pat on the back. And then sometime between the 3rd to the 6th month, everybody's like, you're on your own, fend for yourself, screw off. Maybe not that dramatic. Sorry, for you as the new guy, that's how it feels.
It doesn't feel that bad. I still have a great support group, but I'm still feeling like I'm fighting more internal battles, right?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yeah, and I've seen enough guys go through it. And then sometime around that in that 8th to 9th month, you want to quit. I think you have some kind of realization that you're not getting where you thought you would, because I think the first 3 months everybody sets false expectations for themselves, like they're going to make it, they're going to blah, blah, blah.
Totally.
Right. And actually, I think you actually were even given more reason to have false expectations, because Dylan, who's still with the organization, left this territory, and
in very good shape.
Okay, but here's the funny thing. So he went through all those ups and downs, started making revenue in the area, building those relationships, and then gets up and leaves and goes, here's the golden gauntlet of sales. Go ahead, Andy. And I think you actually had more euphoria than another guy would have had in comparison to a territory being dead. Mm-hmm. Right. Actually, Dylan, we should have that conversation again. You and I should have that conversation too about you going into a new territory with a very healthy ego, right? And then realizing that you needed to be humble again and fight the battle. But for you, Andy, you went into downtown and you actually saw it as you would achieve your expectations faster due to the fact that Dylan left it in a great place, because he'd gone through all the trials and tribulations. Then sometime in that 3 to 6 month mark, you put yourself in a place where you realize you may not make those expectations. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like having a gym membership. I always use that one, right? Yeah. For you. We all get one, and then we go for the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then for 5 days a week. And then the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, we're doing it 2 days a week, and 2, 3 weeks later, we're doing it 1 day a week, and we get off track, and then we just start going to the gym to hang out, see friends, tell people we're going to go, get pulled away from it, get busy. And sales can be very much like that. It's a very disciplined job. It's funny too, because business to business, real estate people go into real estate sales thinking the same thing. This is some freedom. I can do what I want, when I want, how I want. And then they realize that if they don't have the same, in real estate, specifically real estate, because there's no help doing it, and some brokers making you pay desk fees. You get a paycheck. Real estate agents don't. They actually pay to be real estate agents every month.
Wow.
$500 to $1,000 desk fees.
They must go through agents like that, right? Like
brokers just want agents, lots of agents. Give me lots of agents. I want lots of agents because you want desk fees. Brokers want desk fees. They also want money. They want their 1, 2, 3% cut, but they also want their desk. They want desk fees, right? Mm-hmm. So now you're in that 6 month mark, and you're wondering about those expectations you have, and resetting them, getting yourself back on the treadmill every day, and not trying to run for 10 kilometers, but just 1 kilometer. Mm-hmm. I think when you start in that first 3 months, you run at 100 kilometers, and you realize you can't keep that. It's physically a pace. It's impossible to keep, to the point where you go the opposite way and don't do any running. And now you're, I think, and you can agree with me or disagree, that now metaphorically you're in that bad place again now where you're going to go, I'm just going to run 1K a day. I'm just going to go visit my 10 customers a day. I'm going to get done. I'm going to stay in my box, because if I don't perform the same way every day, I can't actually grow. You got to say, a quote from Michael Jordan book was, you got to do one push-up every day, because you'll do more. And then, but when you say I'm going to do 100 push-ups a day, and the day you go, screw it, I'm not doing it, you don't do any.
You're setting yourself up to fail.
Yeah, Michael Jordan would always tell you, and most highly professional people would always tell you, do one thing every day. Like don't wait a list of 10. Write a list of 1, get it done, get a high from it, and then do a second thing. But don't write a list of 10 things and feel depressed because you didn't make it to the 10th thing. Just do one thing, get it done, make it rock, so that you feel good about yourself. Especially, and we're going to talk about the show in a minute, but especially in sales. If you don't feel good about yourself every day, about what you accomplish, what you do, it can kill you. Like your ego, your self-esteem. And most salespeople have to have a really, really big ego. And that doesn't mean they're arrogant. It just means and by the way, the difference between ego and arrogance, means that I think I'm a good person, and I'm good looking, and I'm a rock star. Arrogance means I want to tear you down to make myself feel better. So when I call you Bubbles, that's when you know I'm being arrogant, right? You're so beautiful. I'm talking to the audience, by the way. You're so beautiful. My mother, it's as much as my mom. My mom's like, I've heard these things a million times. I wish Timmy would just shut up. But you have to have a really stable ego to survive in sales. So I would tell every sales rep, never ever set expectations they can't meet on that daily basis. And so when you hear me preach every morning to the sales team, I go, go visit 15 buildings, go make 15 phone calls, or 20 is really what you should make. Go make 20 phone calls, go visit 15 buildings, and hand in 3 work orders and call it a day. I actually refer to it the odd time as being a postie. You got a 4-hour job. I think when you set up any goals bigger than that, and then I tell you, only have 1 meeting a day, which sounds really weird, but 1 actual organized meeting, not somebody spontaneous or an emergency, but I'm talking 1 thing that was organized for yourself, and try to organize them weeks out. Because I think that when you set up yourself with, I'm going to see 30 buildings and I'm going to visit everybody. He called today, I'm visiting today. And you start doing this random acts of kindness or random acts of success and not planned acts of success.
You're not working the process.
And you're going to fail.
Exactly.
You're going to crash. What you do is you crash and burn. You don't fail. You actually just bring yourself to the point where you don't feel good every day when you wake up and you go, okay, I booked 3 things, 4 things, right? And I don't know how to get to all them all. And now I'm not going to be able to cold call. And as a sales rep, real estate sales, I don't care, business to business, you have to cold call. You have to go out and visit people, and you have to do it almost randomly, because nobody's going to give you an appointment, especially in property management. Can I come see you one day? Oh, yeah. Call me. Nobody gives a shit. You don't get to see anybody. So now we're here, and you were lucky because at your 6-month mark, you got to come to a trade show. And actually, Andy was really, really lucky because not only were you here at your 6-month mark, we brought a goat.
Yeah, that was
okay.
That was very, very interesting.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the goat. It's goatastic. It is goatastic. Thank God for Kevin. God bless Kevin. He's a duckle on my shoulder. So, and why we make fun of that goat is because, and by the way, I was made personal fun of bringing a goat. Some of the staff were, this is kind of crazy. Some of the managers were like, don't do that. Even doing the podcast and the live broadcasting we're doing right now. And ironically for you, being in a bit of a lull, trying to reorganize your thoughts, the show gives you that break. So you pull out of a daily routine and go, okay, and exhaust yourself and go, okay, I need to reorg. The other thing is that unlike Dylan, who did his first show last year, Dylan, was your first show?
Last year. Actually, yes.
The ebony and flow of traffic through the show, when you have a normal booth, which all these booths are rock star, they look great, highly professional, but when they're normal, the ebony and flow of traffic through them is boring. Very few people want to engage you, talk to you. They don't want to laugh with you. They don't want to play with you. And really at a trade show, what you want is just you want to laugh with people and play with them, and so that they remember who you are for tomorrow. And when you're in one of these normal booths, people don't stop. They don't stop and play. So we bring a live goat down named Kevin. And yesterday for us, the live goat, everybody, right? The live goat was like, holy smokes. Everybody stopped. And actually to the point where you could see that the aisle was loaded with people because everybody wanted to touch Kevin the goat.
Oh, definitely.
Which was a lucky break for you.
Very lucky.
Because usually trade shows for guys like you who are new in that 6-month position, then that 6 to 9, and that 3 to 6, and then come to a trade show, business radio, it is even more depressing. Because on Monday, for all salespeople, here's the problem. I talked about this yesterday, is that not only did you miss the last 3 days, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, which is October 28th, 29th, and 30th. It's on tomorrow till 1 o'clock. Not only did you miss these 3 days, you're also given a whole bunch of prospects and leads, people you tagged and got business cards from that you have to deal with on Monday. So on Monday, you have to catch up with the 3 days you missed, still follow through with all the calls you had, and then get back on track into your workout routine. Yeah. And if the show was a bust like they usually are, by the way, I'd like to tell you that everybody who goes to trade shows likes to tell you, yeah, it's not bad, a little slow this year. No, I got some good leads, I love all that. I don't think actually anybody really, by the way, I don't think there's a true matrix to measure whether these shows are successful or not, because the success is so far out that you can't taste and touch it. And we're such an instant gratification group in our society now. You can't touch that. You can't touch that. You can't touch the success of a trade show. So you don't actually know whether the trade show's propelling you forward. Usually, probably until the company sells, because that's what you're making branding. So you're increasing the brand awareness. You don't actually know whether you had success from or not until 6 months from now. So people all around, oh, yeah, not bad. Met a few people. Want to see some old regulars, and I got all that. But the goat thing for you was super lucky for you in your 6-month mark.
It put there was a lot less pressure on going up to people, engaging, right? I could say something like, have you seen the goat? Something as simple as that. Or go up to someone who's looking very confused at why we have a goat here. Just go up and looks like you might have some questions about the goat, right?
Yeah, really, because we talked about having the 5 opening lines you can have. So the only thing which you didn't need because the goat got rid of the whole happy birthday or your flies down or whatever your fancy line was going to be, so you didn't sound like the rest of the salespeople in the building, because the goat literally stopped and all you had to do is, have you met my goat Kevin? And it literally changed the interaction with them. So it's a lighthearted interaction. Nobody's selling anything to them. Nobody's trying to tell them who and what Byrne on Demand is or Stadia is. It's just that's the goat. And you can walk into it slowly rather than rush into it, because they're not in a rush to leave with the goat here, right? Nobody was in a rush to leave. Unlike usual people traffic, they're scared to give you eye contact, and when they give it to you, they're scared how long they'll be stuck with you. So yesterday, super crowded, good fun, right, for your first show.
It was great.
Today, 2 things, and this goes for these guys over here too, is that we need to make sure that we interact with people that we need to interact with. So make a bit more observation to the tags, which, by the way, the first thing you know is that the good guys always wear their tags backwards.
I noticed that yesterday.
Totally, right? Not because not everybody's important, but and not that you shouldn't shake hands with every single person and squirt Purell in their hands and make sure they're happy and they got to pet Kevin the goat. But it's just so that you can organize your time into people that will create revenue for you over the next 6 months. So A, keep more conscious awareness of this. B, the only 5 lines now, you don't have to worry about introducing yourself. You're going to make sure that everybody's going to want to stop and talk to you. You have to make sure you can get out of the conversation.
That was my biggest challenge yesterday. I would get into a conversation and I would feel
tie your shoes.
Like it was rude.
Right. Tie your shoes is a good one.
I didn't wear shoes with laces today. I'll find another one.
Drop something and pick it up. Break eye contact is always really good, and it's a subtle way without being rude, right? Introducing them to the person beside them,
even if I haven't met them before.
Well, the best part of this is so no offense to your peers. I'm looking at the camera. Is that if you're talking to John and you know the conversation's gone, and people are walking by that you'd like to meet, you can see Dylan and Doug or Alex standing there. You can go, Alex, come here, Alex. I want you to introduce you to John. and then ever say hi to John and say, excuse me for 1 second, turn and walk away and leave her with John. And I appreciate your throwing your peers under the bus. Who cares? They'll have an easier time because there'll be a transition. It's an easier time for them to break it. So always call over your peer and introduce them so you can get out of it. Because if you have a group of people here, you don't want to have, and not to everybody's watching. The idea is to engage people, but we had so many people here. You want to engage everybody and make sure everybody has notepads, everybody has your business card, everybody sees your great smile and your positive energy, and you don't want to limit it to any one person. So, A, you have to learn how to shorten those conversations. B, you have to learn how to be really self-aware about the people around you, and how many people I have not spoken to yet. Rather than engaging the person you're speaking to, look at, while they're talking, take a quick look around and go, oh my God, there's so many people here I haven't said hello to. It's okay to admit that to the person you're talking to.
Oh, definitely.
So if I'm looking at you right now, I'm going, Andy, oh my God, it's so great to see you. The drag is there's a million other people I haven't had a chance to say hi to, and oh, hi, Joanne, and you turn and you can, but so you need to be more upfront about it so you're not stuck in that, trap. And I don't want to say everybody's watching and say, I came by there, but it's not a trap. Okay. but when you're real, so their goal is to say hi to the goat and they want to stop and take a break. And there's a coffee place around the corner and it becomes, and your feet are killing you and you don't feel like you're being attacked as a salesperson petting the goat. That's right, like as a customer or somebody walking by. So it's a great place to stop. The problem is for you got to keep everybody talking, moving. What's the number one embarrassing thing you did yesterday to yourself? Do you remember it?
Yesterday.
Did you find yourself going, okay, I'm an idiot?
I just stumbled over some words every once in a while, not being able to get out exactly what I wanted to say. And nothing very embarrassing. I didn't have my fly undone or anything like that. Yesterday I was just really contingent.
I'm going to tell you a story.
I didn't step outside my comfort zone enough.
There's a guy named Greg Ross, and he was with Enterplan. It's going back 30 years ago when the show was little. It was in the North Convention Center. Okay. And I just met him, and we're standing in a crowd, and at the booth, it's exactly what we're doing right now. And he had a hair sticking through his buttonhole. And, oh my God, you got a hair. And I grabbed it and I pulled it to get it off him because it looked like it was on him. Yeah. Because it was wrapped around his thing. Yeah. And I went and pulled it and it was a hair on his chest because his chest was fucking wickedly hairy. And I pulled it. He's like, oh, what are you doing? And I realized that I did this in front of 5 or 6 people and I could feel the heat. And all I was doing, because by the way, I have a dog. You have a dog, and I got dog hair all over me, and I'm constantly. So I was trying to be super polite and vulnerable and interactive.
But you ended up pulling out his chest hair.
And have him get really, really, not annoyed or embarrassed or caught off guard, and made a scene in front of the 5 or 6 people. It was one of the worst PM Expo moments was when I pulled that guy's hair out of his chest. You can, yeah, you didn't listen. So when I yanked his hair to the chest, and literally everybody, I think Mark Dawkins was there, and I think Mark's with Ainsworth, but they all stood around, and I literally went, okay, I gotta go. I didn't know what to, I was literally stuck, didn't know what to do. I was humiliated and embarrassed, and I was praying that somebody around me would, and nobody did, and left me to die. What's your goal today? Today, this show, I mean, are you tired?
I'm tired. My feet are sore. I have had a Motrin and 2 Advils so far today.
I told you. Yeah. I told him on my podcast, take drugs every morning. Just purely keep yourself up. So you're tired.
So I'm tired, a little bit sore, but I've got mental energy today. So my goal is to really focus on meeting more of the people who can increase my revenue. So keep an eye on those red tags. Talk to more property managers that I have not talked to.
Are they red and orange, I think?
I believe so. Yeah, okay. The only ones I've remembered are red, the dark red. But that's my goal. Get out of those quick conversations. I found myself getting into long, lengthy conversations with a lot of students yesterday.
You are wickedly polite.
That's my downfall, though, for an event like this. I need to be a little bit more to the point, have my eyes focused on what my goal is, and that's to make as many impressions as I can, right? Get my name out there to as many of the people who can influence our business as possible, but also showing that respect of anyone else. Like, everyone's going to want to see the goat. I can't just ignore someone who's asking me a question. So my focus is on getting out of that situation so I can direct my focus to that next bigwig who's walking down the aisle, and I can have that same level of respect. Use those moments to practice those lines. So
the drag about the goat is that it attracts a lot of people and not a lot of right people. Mm-hmm. So that's the downside of the goat. Mm-hmm. Saying that, though, a lot of people come by there's two reasons why people come. A, they know about the goat. Mm-hmm. B, we've had some big wigs here anyway. Mm-hmm. Cheryl Gray, right? And stuff like that.
Yep.
But the crowds it creates when you're standing down the end of the aisle of 16, or you're standing way down that side, it makes people go,
"What's over there?
What's going right?" And they want to travel to that crowd.
All of a sudden, the tunnel vision comes up.
You as a sales guy almost have to go, okay, I need to organize this crowd in my head, mm-hmm. so that I don't get focused. The other thing is to know that we shouldn't all stand together. Mm-hmm. Everybody should be 3 meters apart. So when those crowds get built up, we need to break apart. So when we're all standing at this table here.
Well, at one point, we had so many people here, people couldn't actually walk by.
Yeah.
So I took my conversation out to the end of the aisle.
I really feel sorry for these guys. I don't know. Emerald Energy?
No, it's PAC.
Shit.
Waste Solution.
What is it called?
PAC?
PAC?
UPAC?
Grab one of the brochures.
I think it's called UPAC. UPAC's our neighbor to my left. Oh, look, here we go.
Huh? Well, maybe it's PAC.
What? You? PAC you?
PAC you. It could be.
Dude. I got a chip on my shoulder.
I
got the taco. It's not a chip, it's a taco. I am a fox. There, you got it, Al. You got the bit, right? Yeah. I am a fox. I'm hunting rabbit. Okay. Yeah, UPAC. It sounds like a band. Wasn't there a guy named UPAC that got killed?
Tupac.
Tupac. I'm really old, eh?
It's okay.
Maybe the owner of UPAC.
Automatically off the bat.
Maybe the owner of UPAC was related to Tupac. With Tupac UPAC.
West Coast related.
I'm Tupac with UPAC. Tupac.
Yeah.
These guys gotta hate our guts. Because we encroached on their booth, and these guys here, who are those guys? What's their name?
They're a security company.
Security company? They got to hate us too, right?
But I don't know if that's a just hate. If I was at a booth and I was and my neighbors were drawing in the crowds, then it comes down to me being a more effective communicator and pulling off of their neighbor's success. Right?
It's why restaurants all open up, like a restaurant alley. Mm-hmm. Like they have one up here in Beaver Creek. There's a big one there. There's a big one out in Meadowvale. Mm-hmm. And they have like the kegs and the forks and spoons and all the Jack Astors. All the restaurants clustered together because they actually make better business being clustered together than they do being spread out like car lots do.
Yeah. Well, let's go for dinner.
Where
do you want to go?
Car malls. When they have all the car lots together, they do better business. You're right. So perhaps because we're all together, you're right, and they should be milking the goat. I don't think we should milk the goat.
I don't know if that's possible. This is just a little mini guy.
That's Tim Byrne. Tim Byrne, almost live. We're down at PM Expo, Metropolitan Toronto Convention Center. Hi, everybody. I'm with Andy Pandy. He is the downtown rep. What's your cell phone number for my mother who's watching?
It's 416-717-0223. The
nice thing about Andy, what Andy can do for everybody watching when he's on your site, if you have a curtain wall water leak, we have an egress issue, a security challenge. The nice thing is Andy has and you're new, but Andy has access to me and to a lot of, which I'm a curtain wall consultant, but you have access to a lot of technical providers around you. So Dennis is an automatic guru. He has Adam certified, understands the egress and the AODA regulations, what can and cannot happen, and what is a life safety issue, and how to do cost-benefit analysis on how it works.
He's been a great resource for
totally.
me.
Ray Herbert, the same. Mike Wickington, who's understands heavy glass, spider walls, curtain wall water leaks as well as myself. So you actually have the ability to, when you meet with property managers, to pick the resource that's best suited for them to bring them to site. So you can find the tools they need to get to their problem, make it fixed. I wish you really good luck today. Have super fun time.
It's going to be a great time. The goat's here.
Kevin the Goat has arrived. We're going to go to Goat TV. Later on, we have Sanj coming in here. Sanj Patel owns a fire company, does the sprinkler heads and the fire protection services. Later on this afternoon, we have Cushman Wakefield coming in. They're going to talk about how they run drones over top of property sites and can actually do the elevation and how much organic material has to come off the soil before they can start construction. The drone can actually tell you how deep and what the cut is. And then later on, we have an old friend who is a recovered crack addict who has opened up his own plumbing company and works for property managers, and how the rise and fall of his success, Jamie Mitchell, and that's going to be late this afternoon. So we got a huge busy day. We got a friendly goat here. Andy, we're going to get some more coffee. I think the doors have opened. I wish you luck.
Thanks so much, Tim.
Let's do some goat TV. We're going to move that camera over to our goat so you can just turn it down to him.
Oh, really?